What's up, guys? It's Karmavore here. We're going to be playing some Magic Amp. So we'll go through the battle list once again. First up, we have the Aurora Inspector. Now, he is a very good standalone unit, but inside of Magic Amp, he becomes super powerful. He has Deflect, he has Magic Beam, he has Damage Shield and Magical rank 3. So, in a 1v1 situation in a fawn, he's dishing out pretty good damage, and then with the amp on top of that, he's dealing even more damage. He does have Discovery, so that is a very good, first turn play against stealth battle groups or even just a stealth champion in general. It does counteract that. Next up, we have the Aurora Investigator. Now, she is a really good unit too, with Spell Swallower and Spell Surge Blinding Flash. It does Spell Surge does reduce the cost of the spell by 10 Nora, and it heals the Investigator by 8 HP when you use it. Now it also reveals the cooldown, or not the cooldown, the rune itself when you do deploy Investigator, so it's a free reveal. So she can ramp up pretty quickly if they're casting spells and doing. She is a ranged champion, so she dishes out a good amount of damage. She has Aurora Investigations too, which is part of the reason why she's also in the battle group. Drops a clue on the battlefield whenever an opponent attacks one of your champions. And when a wizard or when a fairy or an elf walk in within range of the clue, it gains 2 AP. So it's a pretty good ability to have in the battlefield. We have Chain Fey next, with Vitality Nora and Swap 3. Chains of Amaranth is the reason why you run it. Every fairy, wizard, or elemental that is played gains plus 5 max HP. This unit loses 5 max HP, and you gain 5 more from the ability. Now with Vitality Nora, it chance of staying alive for all of your wizards being deployed, and there's a nice interaction with swap. When you deploy a unit, you deploy her, then deploy a unit, and you can swap her into the position of the fawn and have the unit come back out. And have the Chain Fey cap the fawn while you have the other unit to move wherever you please. Has Preordained, so it's the first rune revealed in the battle group, which is another free deploy. We have the Elven Curator. He has Gift Magical Training, which gives Reckless Blast 2, which does 10 damage at a 2 to 5 radius, and the closest champion on your team takes 4 damage. And it does ignore defense, so it is nice with Magic Amp. It also gives Magic Blast, so that when this unit makes a basic attack, all opposing champions in 2 spaces of target take 50% magic damage, so it's obviously a really good thing to deploy like him, and then like Menelaus or the Elven Mages or any other ranged champion. Even the Garl Chosen's good. Anything with range is typically what you want to do. It has Magic Acolyte as well, so it's it stays alive during the fights when you're got enough of your magic damage fielded. It has really good stats with 11 base damage, 48 HP, it has 7 speed with the bonus. 2 Elven Mages for more Magic Amp, and they're really good range units. We have an Elvish Strategist for obvious reasons, for swap, pull, and more damage modifiers. The Experimental War Spirit for the counter all function, and it is a wizard, so it benefits from thrones being in play, and it gets spell resistance as well from it. The Garl Chosens are more Magic Amp and are really good, mid-game units, because they do have protective. So whenever your friendly wizard gets attacked, it gets plus 2 damage for 2 turns, and that stacks up to 3 times. So with the base damage of 9, with the banner of being 10, it can get up to 16 damage, and then with the amp on top of that, it's hitting like a truck. It has 55 HP, so it's pretty good. It has impenetrable as well, so it's safe from abilities. Now we have a kind of a spicy pick with Gar Whisperer. I take it with Vaporize and Blast instead of having Magic Amp over Blast, because Blast with the Magic Amp can do absurd amounts of damage on AoE and is an easy Whisperer proc, so you can get summons out in the field. We have Guardian in the Circle. He's a good frontline tank with Tough 2 and Freezing Aura. He's also a wizard, so he gains the Magic Nova ability, but I mainly run him for Shatter just in case. I have Menelaus in here, pretty self-explanatory, 8 speed, huge damage, and I run him with the 101 Nora build with Heal Mass 3 and Grant Magical Aura for more additional amped damage. Then I went 2 Wisps. They're really good, like, you know, font sitting rooms. They have one with Nora and Magic Accolades, so they heal up really quickly. They, you know, are fairly tanky as long as they don't have too many like abilities in the field. So they're really good, and they're more amplify as well, Magic. So for the spell side, we have Blinding Flash for obvious reasons. With the Investigator, you know, it's a 2-turn lockdown with blinding, and it provides a slow. We have Bullseye just in case we can't double tap, so we can still dish out, you know, 30 damage on a single auto attack at max amp, sometimes lower depending on how much amp you actually have fielded, but the damage does get quite high. Fanfare for more stat stacking, Inhibit Power for dropping pesky abilities, and adding Distract, amazing spell. We have Nature's Wrath for an AoE and Defense Shred, and obviously it's, you know, magic damage, so it gets amped with everything on the field. We have Regulate, which is an interesting include that I've been trying out more and more on Magic Amp. I feel like Magic Amp as a whole dish out a lot of damage anyways, and then with Magic Nova, they don't really suffer too much from the negative effect of the spell. What it does is all champions have their base stats set to defense 0, speed 5, damage 9 for 2 rounds. So basically, you use this after like a nice power turn or, you know, killing something, so they're forced to either cleanse to get rid of the effect, or they just have useless champions for the next 2 rounds. And then the following turn, you know, you can use Magic Novas to, instead of attacking, you can use your Magic Novas, so you're dishing out still lots of damage in an AoE. Or you can just simply cleanse with your Cleansing Emerald. We have 2 Stellar Horizons for additional healing on your wizards and massive AoE damage. We have Catharsis Bloom for mid-game healing. We have a Cleansing Emerald for, you know, the state reason of Regulate, plus any other situation that happens where we need Cleanse. A banner. 2 Thrones. Now an interesting interaction with Throne is that you can use Throne in like a mid-font for contesting, and it obviously gives Nova and spell resistance, but if you like use all your Novas on your champions and they kill the relic and you redeploy the Throne, you get a fresh new Nova and with no CD. So it's kind of an unexpected thing that people, you know, don't take into consideration when playing against a Magic RPG. And if the Throne's in the font and they need to kill it, they're not gonna, you know, hesitate to do so, and then you just get free damage out of that essentially. And then we have a Burning Oak Seed for all damage and Fire Eater, which is really helpful, and considering we're on like 100% magic damage, with the exception being of, I guess, 2 champions. You know, we need some alt damage. The Covenant mainly for Menelaus, but it does go good on Elven Mage. There's Experimental War Spirit or the Investigator. So that's pretty much the BG list. We'll get into a game. Hopefully we can get queued up pretty quick. Turn some music on now. Yeah, I think that Throne like thing, it's won me a few games where people just, you know, don't see it coming and you've expended all your Nova abilities, so they clump up after retreating or something, and then you just drop another Throne and then you're dealing, you know, huge amounts of AoE damage again, because an amped Nova is like 14 to 13 damage depending on, you know, if you have 3 units out, that's plus 3 damage, 4 plus 4 damage. So yeah, it gets pretty absurd, and pretty much every rune in this battle group is a wizard, so you really have no shortage of Novas. I think that's like one of the main like pluses of this battle group, is it's like unfocused AoE damage, so you don't have to like actually target someone to deal a bunch of damage. Depending on the positioning of the opponent, like you can punish really hard. You know, I'd always say like getting a Throne out early is important if you have them drawn, sure, but you don't need it right away unless there's like a huge threat of AoE spells or, you know, for a font contest, like I said. But you generally kind of want to save them for like a surprise power turn where they see all the damage that you have fielded and kind of, you know, back off accordingly depending on like what range champions I have out. And then you just move in, melee range, drop a Throne, and deal crazy AoE damage. And it's usually like good paired with like, so you like Nova on a couple champions and then like do like a Stellar Horizon or a Nature's Wrath and an AoE. And, you know, you're board wiping fairly often. That's I think why Magic Amp was like a tier 1 BG for such a long time. I don't know what really changed particularly about it or why people don't play it as much, but I think it's still easily tier 1. I guess maybe because like there might be other more sources of like resistances out there or what have you. But so get into a game right now. We're playing against Ajvan. He's playing his Forsaken Waste, like I think it's a skeleton battle group, but it's also like kind of a weird meta mix. So I get to show you the Chain Fey interaction, like swap thing that I do. It doesn't really matter where you put her, here or here. But next turn, you know, you can just swap into the font with that. So we'll get a curator out. On this map, it's like not the best to do, but next turn, like if he, you know, he can't double deploy, so I get to cap this font and this font at the same time, which forces him to move into the font. That's a skeletal lurper. So you just move out, swap, and take the font. So it forces him to move into the font no matter what, which is huge. The shit thing is I don't have detection fielded. I don't even have detection in this battle group. I just have AoE damage and the Spectre. So he's gonna drop a Relic, waste Nora. We can get an Elven Mage out. Now it's got Magic Blast and another magical attack. Guess I couldn't get my Investigator out because these stealth champions are hard to deal with. So I'm assuming like he's gonna send the Lurper to cap this font and move the Stalker up. And now I can kill the Relic with a Nova and an attack, so that's what I'll do. I'll drop the throne down here just in case the Lurper moves out down that way. I'll move here just in case the Lurper is still within range. And it's not, so we get to kill the Relic here. I'll move back just in case Mute Stalker moves in for an attack or an Estring or something. Doubt it, but you never know. Always want to play as safe as possible. So we're forcing him into the font as much as possible. So yeah, he's moved the Lurper up here and the Mute Stalker somewhere over here, I'm assuming. So get the Mage into the fight. Next turn he'll be available to me. Probably want to drop another Mage. I'm just thinking what I want to do next turn. So you can most likely double attack with the Mute Stalker. It should have 3 range or something. So I'll move back. Depending on his positioning, go back more. And depending on his positioning, I can just double AoE and kill the Mute Stalker, plus gets a lot of damage off on Sirkin. That's what I'll do. So I want to move up one Stellar Horizon just to reveal the font. Nice, okay, now we can AoE. So that's a lot of damage, 26 damage in AoE. Plus it heals him back up. An easy kill here. So that's a really good turn. Lurper's probably sitting somewhere over here. You always want to kind of do that with a stealth unit just to see if they've expended an AP. If not, then they're staying in the same position they were. So I'm pretty sure he hasn't moved from that spot. So I can move in Nova. Killed the next. Hoping he's not seeing it this far. I doubt he would be because he deployed the banner inside the farm, but he could be bluffing. I think I'm gonna get the Guardian out next, just because it has Cold Snap and that is a AoE reveal pretty much for stealth. I'll drop a Catharsis. So my judgment was right, but that's a riskier play. I could have put the Catharsis here easily. Yeah, that's why you want to kind of, when stealth units stealth, you check if they've moved. Because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to get that kill. So, assuming, okay, well that's, this thing's dead. Okay, well, this is not good anymore. Yeah, so that Lurper's going for that bottom font. So we'll just move away. We'll take the font. I think I want to get my Inspector out. You can't kill anything, which is good, unless that Lurper's like sitting close by, but I doubt it. My assumption is he went down here. Waiting for a double attack to kill a relic to instantly take the font. Oh, what are you doing? Is he gonna get a kill here? That would be the only purpose of teleporting in like that. Yeah, so the Lurk is really close, obviously. So if he doesn't kill the mage, I think he might mobilize. Or he's moved down into this font. It's another spell. I have to kill this thing immediately, since it does have magic damage. Now I get to do some Nova damage. Circuit's being kind of a problem. So I can definitely get the kill here. So I'll move Curator up and use Stellar Horizon, and then equip him with the Covenant. Oh, it's not enough. Unless I'm... It's really greedy, but it's a kill nonetheless. So a decent turn, got the kill on the Lurper. Circuit staying pretty low. Alright, doing his job as a tank. 5 turns, the champion becomes possessed. So I'm gonna have to cliff dive it. So another Magic Nova. Magic Amp would be wise here. I can kill this graveyard. Kill the summon. Move into range there. And he's not going to want to kill the Ajvan Mage. So I can move him forward and be aggressive. So I have 2 more turns with this thing before I have to kill it. So I have, well, 1 more round after this. Oh. That sucks. So my base dead. Punish Imora. Couldn't really. I could have expended, I guess. It still would have been dead though. 14. Ouch. I've got to deal with Sirkin pretty quick. So I'm gonna kill. So the excavator's definitely dead. Actually move the mage up and take this top on. And then cliff dive it next turn after killing this relic. Oh, GG. Okay, so that's an introduction into Magic Amp, but thanks for watching, guys.